Hey you guys, welcome to our Shay's Intuition. It's Shay. We're going to do a reading for Capricorn for November 2019. You guys, we're going to do a little different spread than I normally would do. Why? It's because, good morning if I should say. Good morning you guys. However, I'm sorry, I want to do a different spread for you guys because I realized that I wasn't getting what I could get out of the readings when I would do the other just basic readings. So we're going to do it this way. We're going to ask spirit questions. Okay? And we want to see what can be given to us for November for Capricorn for 2019. Okay? You guys, this is an energy reading, so whatever energy you held at that time is what will be portrayed in this reading. I believe Spirit sends you to my page for you to receive messages from me. From them, from me, from him to me, for you to absorb and use it towards whatever you can apply it to. And if you cannot apply it to anything in your life, which I mean, do not try too hard, you will know. I am always a believer in sharing the message. I do not believe that Spirit comes to me to share messages and it's just for hell's sake, if I should say. It's just because that's not what's going on. So, if this message does not resonate with you, feel free to share it with someone else. You guys, this is an energy reading and it's general. All right, you guys, let's leap in. So, let's start with our prayer. However, the new thing that we will be doing with the prayer is to burn our bay leaf before we start. We're going to ask Spirit to guide us through this reading. Have a guided reading with love, light. With love and light, okay? Thank you, Spirit, so much for guiding us. Capricorn. So I started using the bay leaves instead of sage. I'm not saying that I don't use sage. I kind of use a little bit of both, but lately I have been doing my bay leaves. I am putting out a video about bay leaves as well. I want to get y'all readings out first and how important bay leaves are for your divination, if I should say, to find your spiritual grounding, to get the spiritual grounding that you need. If you read more into bay leaves and what they were used for throughout time and presently, you will understand how important they are. Okay. Thank you so much, Spirit. Thank you for your presence. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. We're going to join in this reading. Spirit, please give me a card to show Capricorn's present self. Present self for November 2019. Please, Spirit. Ooh. All right, Spirit, that's a lot. Please give me a card to show. So what I'm going to do, you guys, is lay out the cards and then we're just going to leap into the reading. Okay. No. Oh. You wanted that one to come out too. Okay. Okay. Spirit, I hear you speaking to me. Good. Capricorn's future self. Thank them for. And where should they be looking for inspiration? So whenever my Orsha Tarot deck comes out upside down, I do not read it upside down. The only deck that I read upside down is my original tarot deck. Okay? Other than that, every Orsha deck or Oracle deck that I do get, I do not read it upside down. It is not intended to be read upside down. And that is just where from what I've learned. Okay? So if you see another tarot cardist that likes to read cards from the Orsha deck or from the Oracle deck upside down, then that's something that you can look into, okay? I don't, so feel free. However, future self for Capricorn, November 2019. Tell them what to focus on that will help unleash what they seek for in life. How to focus on whatever is needed for them to unleash what is meant for them or what they seek for. Spirit, thank you so much. Okay. What should be cut off in Capricorn's life for 2019? What advice do your Capricorn's future self have for things that should be removed or cut off for November 2019? What should they tap into to amplify their life for 2019? What should be cut off and what should be brought to the front? Okay. Yeah, good reading you guys. It's really good. I'm sorry, did I say my stuff? I got shorts on. It's just I'm just abundantly thigh-ish. I should say I have a lot of thighs, y'all. All right. Thank you, Spirit, so much. What is holding Capricorn back from achieving what they need in life? And what advice would future self of Capricorns give for November 2019? This fell out. So, it is time to read your cards because Spirit is talking. Sorry, let me go back. Okay. Speak, Spirit. All right. Last question. Spirit, please give us an answer on how to fully receive Capricorn's blessings for November 2019. Thank you, Spirit, so much for giving us guidance. We appreciate it so much. Thank you. Woo! Thank you so much. All right. Boom. So we have all... Ooh. Right. I'm trying to keep this nice and organized for them. Sorry. Y'all. It's too early in the morning. I don't feel like looking at y'all, y'all looking at me, okay? So we're going to do the hand. Okay? All right, let's get started. Thank you, Spirit, so much. Thank you. So, your present self is represented by the Justice card, which is 8, and the 10 of Discs. So the 10 of Discs in this deck speaks of new beginnings, optimism, seeing what you put work into, being able to enjoy your growth in whatever you put your time and your investments into. This is what the 10 of this speaks for. If you see the baby and you see it's more around, it's because naturally the beginning, the birth of something starts off as a small child, and what we can relate to as humans is children, and they start off small. This is a work in progress. It's like having a business where you will work to keep this business. You will work to keep it where you want it to be. And within that time, you'll be able to see this creation that you've made. But you have to understand that it comes with patience. Something as far as justice, the only thing I can speak of when it comes to justice in this new creative endeavor that you leaped onto or that you have an idea about, is that this is going to bring in the stability that you asked for. This, if you actually take your time to focus on what it is you want and can visualize it, this is what you have right now. You're able to bring forth what you have dreamed about. It's time to manifest it, okay? Second question was, what will your future self thank you for? And what should you do for inspiration, or where should you be looking for inspiration? So Spirit said, watch your ego, set boundaries, and be fearless. With the Emperor card, you are standing in your own. You are being who you see yourself to be. This person is being crowned by God. But don't get it twisted. If you don't watch your ego, you don't set boundaries, and you don't move fearlessly, it will be snatched from you. And take this how it comes, because it could be that you normally don't have an issue with your ego, which I think that is just false. I think everybody has an issue with ego, because ego was built off of the statuses in life, where if you aren't a certain individual, you haven't completed things in a certain time period in life, you are what you are because you have set yourself up for, long story short, you set yourself up for failure because you are listening to the norm or to the mass of individuals that don't have a clue. You're here listening to tarot. You're digging deeper than what an individual would normally do. So I know personally, you are on a path of enlightenment. You're on a path of questioning things. You're on a path of knowing that there are boundaries to be set. But however, when I set these boundaries, let me make sure I don't enforce my ego into it, my religion, my goals, and my outlook and my inspirations on things and how I look at it, my intent on looking at things this way. Make sure that you don't use your ego to go forward in this. You have the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups speak of a emotional imbalance. I think that you emotionally are imbalanced because you don't really know how to move forward without using your ego. And not just that, your ego is now embedded into your emotional state, which that is for everyone. Let me give you an example. It would emotionally hurt you if something materialistic was taken out of your life. You would feel like a victim, right or wrong. That is a part of the ego that needs to be erased, because anything that's material is just that. It is here to be taken and to be put forth. It is your responsibility to bring it forth out of the vortex, or wherever you want to call that, ask God to bring it towards you. But if you have an ego that is set off of material, off of emotions, like, I can't live without this man, he is amazing, I can't live without this woman because she's just outrageously beautiful. These are egotistical issues that you have that are keeping you from getting to where you need to be. And it causes an emotional conflict with the 5 of Cups. You emotionally are imbalanced because your ego steps in and you feel like, oh, if I don't do this, then I won't have that. And if I don't do this, then I won't have that. So that means that I'm nothing, I'm trash. And that is a false ego. That is your ego giving you false items, because that's false. You was brought into this world with nothing. Not even a stitch of clothing to save you from the cold air, right or wrong. Why do you think, oh, wait, and then when you die, you leave without a stitch of clothing on you, right or wrong? Everybody else is now having to do everything else that you normally would do with your stuff. The reason of that being is to show you that this world that you live in is not based on material. That does not get you to optimal happiness. It does not. And once you realize that, you'll move out of this emotional bondage that you have. The Page of Wands is the inspiration, the limitless ideas. This is what you should be focusing on. Your future self will thank you the moment you get out of this funk and realize that your ego is the one that's playing tricks on you. And get yourself into a limitless inspiration, self-fueled, unconditionally loving happiness. If I should say all the words that comes to mind. Once you get yourself there and you get out of the ego and you don't give two shits what anybody thinks about you, you are going to move so far. And this is you presently, you know that you're capable of doing it, but yet you keep yourself here. And what Spirit is telling you is your future self will thank you for getting yourself out of this nasty funk, because it's all mental. No one has you tied up. No one has you feeling like a victim but yourself. You can't make me feel any type of way unless I allow you to. The Star card lets me know that there is nothing but big things coming. And that stability, that balance that you seek is coming. You just have to get out of that funk. This reminds me of, I believe, the 8 of Swords, where the lady is tied up and she can get herself out. I swear, every time I think about that, I'm like, Capricorn, you've been having a reading like that for a few months. Get yourself out of the mental jail that you have yourself in. We have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. So I don't know if you're feeling like you are giving to something one-sidedly. I'm not saying if it's, because I'm really not getting it, if it's a love relationship or if it's financial or whatever it may be. It just feels like you feel one-sided, and Spirit wants you to focus on getting out of that mind state, because, excuse me, when you give a gift, you don't expect to receive a gift, right? And if you do, then you're barking up the wrong tree. Okay? That is not what life is about. If you give a gift, give it from your heart and don't expect anything back. However, expect abundance throughout life. So just know that when I do give gift, whatever I've done for you has already been done for me. I gave you a gift. I have already been blessed. You understand? All right, you guys. So we have the Empress, the 8 of Cups, the Fortune card, the 10 of Swords, and the King of Cups. And all of this is answering your question to Spirit, what you should be focusing on. This is what you should focus on and what is needed for you to unleash that creativity or whatever it is that you need to focus on. Whatever it is that is keeping you bonded, that was your mental state, and this is basically speaking on what you should cut off. What needs to be cut off, what needs to be released, and what you should focus on. We have the Empress, which focusing on this new abundance and creativity that you have and emotional issues. These are the things that you need to work on so you can get balance. Your Fortune, this is what the ultimate happiness is. Do not work until you don't see any ending in it. Like to say that I'm working with no happy ending. I'm just working continuously, sweating, just doing the most, but I'm not seeing the happiness at the end of the road. I might reap benefits and rewards every now and then throughout the time, but however, I'm not seeing where my end point will be. You guys have to sit down and focus on exactly what you want to bring it into fruitation. You can't keep saying, oh, you know, this is what I want, this is what I want. But in your mind, in your unconscious state, you're just constantly thinking about, what if I fail? What if I do this? What if I... Because Spirit is going to give you what you're unconsciously thinking. So if you're thinking that you're going to fail, then you'll be given more of that just to see if that's what you really want, because you can't possibly want to be successful or a winner if you're constantly focused on failing. The Ten of Swords. It is time to let go of feeling like a victim. It's time. Let it go. The King of Cups. It's for you to sing praises to God, for you to be who you are and show that you were able to move forward and become more emotionally stable, not allowing things to overtake your mental. Like, you should not feel like, okay, small little things on this earth happens to you and you're like, oh, I'm just so through with life. No. Imagine life without the small things. Shoot. I guess the news wouldn't have anything to speak about if there wasn't trials and tribulations in people's lives. TMZ would surely be shut down, wouldn't it? So what I'm explaining to you is this is all a part of the process. So when there are things that make you feel like you're overwhelmed and you just can't go forward from here, think about how it would be without that testimony. You have to have it. And it's all in the way you accept it and perceive it. If you go about things trying to put on your boxing gloves to fight everything, then better believe Spirit will continue to keep giving you things to fight. Because evidently you like to put those boxing gloves on because that's what you're concentrating on. Let's move on. Okay? The things that should be given to you to tap deeper into life, the things that you should tap deeper into, is you knowing that you have guidance, the wisdom of knowing where you're going in life, the wisdom of knowing that I am capable of anything, that ambition to bring in happiness. The things that you may need to cut off is lack of harmony and the lack of not knowing that you are capable of these things. These things are holding you back. We ask Spirit, what is holding Capricorn back in November 2019? And what things should be cut off? And what should I tap into to help amplify my life? The things that you were supposed to amplify with are your wisdom. Shielding yourself from energy suckers and gaining more wisdom in everything that you do. Standing your own ground. Got me? These are things that you have to focus on. You have to. You have financial and material changes. These are things that are going to amplify your life once you cut off not believing in yourself, not thinking that this is something that you need to do. You have the Empress right here. The Empress is speaking of someone that is, I want to say like a motherly figure. The mother and the hen, and somebody's protecting, very protective. It could be you being very protective over someone else or someone being very protective over you. And that also goes with the Nine of Pentacles. It's like a nurturing state that is being given to you. And it could be from your spiritual realm or it could be from the reality realm. Wherever you feel the most, someone is guiding you closely. You see the hand on her son's shoulder? That's to let you know, I got you. I'm not going to let you fall. And we're going to bring in the Nine of Pentacles together. Peace, happiness, and contentment. That is what brings that in. That is what you're going to bring in. Once you realize that your wisdom and standing your own ground is what shields people that don't really care. Sorry about that, you guys. So, for the people that don't really care, is that what we was going at? This is telling you to shield yourself, to protect your energy, to find wisdom within. You cannot find it outside of yourself. And it just baffles me every time I stop to just think for one moment that I used to seek for guidance outside of myself. Anything that you need, God will answer. And God is within thee. Okay? Don't forget that. So if you need questions answered, don't go listen to the homegirl down the street. Don't listen to your... Listen. Speak to your inner self. Okay? Get more closer to your inner self. You need to start meditating more, doing more affirmations, believing in yourself more than you have ever believed in yourself before, because this is what's going to get you here. This fine, I swear, it's like you have so much money, just not money, but abundance, sitting, waiting for you to get it, to understand that you are who you are. And the moment that you understand you are who you are and don't look for anybody else to give you that, boom. All the blessings come raining down. You have the Autumn card. The Autumn card speaks of things dying for new things to begin. It is time for you to let certain situations die. Old habits die. If you never loved yourself the way you should have loved yourself, love yourself even more now. Let the old things die. Accept change, because change is inevitable. This is something that you must go through. Life is a merry-go-round. You just have to grasp what you can get at that moment and be appreciative. You cannot be in a state of lack and expect abundance. You have to appreciate everything you have now to receive the abundance that awaits you. Thank you, Spirit. We have the Fool card. We have the Nine of Cups. We have the Lovers card. We have the Seven of Swords in reverse and the Death card in reverse. And this is the question. This answers the question that we asked Spirit on how to fully receive your blessings for November 2019. And what it is stating is the same thing. It's basically straight to the point. You have to get out of the insecure, guilty feeling like you just want to give up. You are more than you think you are. You are more powerful than you think you are. And I honestly feel like, because throughout the years, or even if you're a teenager listening in, you have went through something that could have made your ego get you to a point where, oh, nope, I'm not going to believe that because I'm this and I'm that. And you got to a point where, are you really? So you might say that to people, or you might give off that demeanor that I'm a strong person and I got this going on and I got this and I have it under control. But your unconscious is what really shows your reality. If you feel like a broken down, unhappy individual, your reality will be that way. You are what your reality shows. You inside will reflect outside. Like, I don't know how else to put this to you. If you live a poor life, you shall receive a poor, like if you literally, if your mind is poor, your life is poor. If you are pessimistic and you don't believe that things are going to get better, then guess what? Things won't ever get better. You can look outside and go walk and see the atmosphere and see how different people live and how people are different because of what their reality inside is. So if you're the type of person that cannot move forward because it's not touchable, and if I can't feasibly touch it, then I know that it doesn't exist. That's so false. It starts with here, with guiding yourself personally to get past the point of denial that you can't get out of your own situation without outside help. Number one. Number two is accepting the things that are wrong and looking at them in a better light. If you don't have the house that you want, thank God that you have a home. If you don't have the car that you want, thank God that you have a car. If you don't have a car and a house, thank God that you have feet. Because there's people with a house and a car with no feet. If you get what I'm saying. So you need to appreciate everything that's being given to you right now for you to be blessed with the abundance and the material and financial changes that you have here. These are good things. These are things that are going to push you higher and higher and higher and higher up the scale. However, if you don't believe in yourself, then guess what? No one will believe in you. Prime example. T.I. King of the South, right? I hope that's what he is. Anyhow, the more he said that that's what he was, even though no one believed him, and for the individuals that don't know who T.I. is, just take it as, if I tell you I'm a boss, and I keep telling you I'm a boss, and you say, she ain't a boss, she don't know what she's doing, this. But I keep telling you I'm a boss, and I do this, and I run that, and I own this, and this is mine. Give it a little bit of time. Not only am I going to be a boss, you're going to see me as a boss. Because I believed in myself, even when I didn't have the status of boss, as you would say. But every day I woke up as a boss. Why? Because I was able to dictate to myself how my day was going to go. I was able to dictate to myself the time I wanted to do this, the time I wanted to do that, the time I wanted to do. You ask me, I'm a damn boss. And the more that you put that perspective in and say, I'm a boss or I'm successful, you use these affirmations and you tell yourself who you are and what you are and where you'll be, you'll honestly see that it's going to work out just the way you imagined it. And if it doesn't, it's because within that imagination you had doubt. And we weren't born with doubt or fear. This is something that's been given to us. So the moment that you realize that that is what is holding you back, you are going to soar. The Lover's card, the Nine of Cups, and the Fool card is to say, walk out and be optimistic. Be as optimistic as you possibly can, because everything, this card for sure, the Lover's card. You see this lady right here with her banjo? She is the leader. She led these women to happy rounds without even a fight, without even breaking a fingernail, with using her brain, working smart and not hard. Spirit wants you to work smart and not hard. Spirit wants you to know that everything that you want is already within your grasp. All you have to do is get out of your own way. Peace. You guys, this is your general reading for November 2019, Capricorn. I love you guys, and I hope this brought light to a lot of people. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. You guys, don't forget, I do have the giveaway still happening this month. You guys, so keep your eyes out. I love you guys.